So I am Alicia Milne. I am the president and CEO of Q2 Metals Corp. We have a lithium project in the James Bay area of Quebec. Did I do this? There you go. My background is a legal background. I was a corporate secretary at Pretium Resources, which had the high-grade Bruce Jack gold mine in northern BC. And Neil McCallum is our vice president exploration. He has had a good history of discovering lithium projects in the James Bay area. And today with us, we also have Simon Cohn, who's a director of us. He's based in Brisbane, and he is a mining engineer that has taken lots of projects from exploration through to development and then closure. Here's a quick snapshot of our share structure. This was as at October 18th. We have a share price of about $1.20. Our market cap is at about $164 million. What's to note on this slide here is that all of our warrants down at the bottom there, they are all in the money. Given our share price being what it is today, we have just shy of $1 million that's coming due this December. And then in February, we have a big whack of warrants there that could potentially bring in proceeds of $8.6 million. Our cash on hand is currently $7.5 million. So we feel we're well funded to complete our winter program and then continue on during the spring summer season. So this is a picture of our Cisco project. You can see up in the top corner there, there's the CO1 outcrop. And then down at the bottom here, that's our final drill of the season. The area itself is predominantly a forestry area. There's forestry cut blocks in the area to which the Quebec government has leased it out to different forestry companies. But yeah, no lakes, no rivers. It's a relatively flat ground and vegetated. The James Bay region has quite a few different projects in the area. Corvette, or the Shekachuanan project, is north of us. We also have another project called the Mia property, and that's also north of us. But what's to note on this slide is that our Cisco project is 150 kilometers north of the town of Matagami. That is the railhead for the Canadian National Railway. So we're very well placed for infrastructure in our area as opposed to some of our competitors. Again, this just highlights where exactly we are on the map. You can see our Corvette Shekachuanan project up there, the Adina project, which is Winsome, and where we're situated on the map. This is our Cisco project. This is now what we are calling our main project. It's comprised of 3 separate claim blocks that we acquired this past February in 2024. The vendors had acquired this project in 2020, 2021. They got out there in 2022 and did a bunch of mapping and sampling. And then in 2023, they got out there and drilled 6 holes, of which you can see holes 4, 5, and 6 actually hit some really nice lithium spodumene pegmatite. So hole number 5 there hit 48 meters at 1.36% Li2O. And that hole actually ended in mineralization. But due to the season, they wanted to get another hole in, so they drilled hole number 6, which also hit spodumene pegmatite intervals. When we first looked at this project, this is, we went up there, we saw the core, and we were really excited about what we saw and the intervals that they were already getting. I think quickly the vendors of the project realized that they're prospectors and they're more well suited for continuing to prospect. So they were looking for a vendor for the project. So that's where we came in. They were also the vendors of the Mia project that we had acquired the year before. So we had a really good relationship with them. So we got out there right away, hit the ground running. And in June, we started our spring and summer program. So there's a picture of Neil, who's our VPX, walking on the main CO1 outcrop. That's pretty much the predominant outcrop that you can see on the project. A lot of the rest of the outcrops in the area are under vegetation. So the first thing we did is we got out there and we did some mapping and sampling. So you can see the green circles are essentially the outcrop areas that we were able to discover. The CO1 outcrop is at the very top of the map there. And then we managed to extend what the vendors had previously mapped, a 1 kilometer by 1 kilometer sort of section, we actually were able to extend that 1.9 kilometers by 1.5 kilometers. And at the same time, we had our drilling crews out there and we started our drill program. So the initial idea was to start drilling around the same area that the vendors were drilling. And our initial interpretation was that the system was running east-west. That's quickly changed, and with hole number 10, where we drilled 120 meters at 1.72% Li2O. As we started to change the direction of the drills, we started to come more south-southeast, and that's when we hit hole number 18, which you can see had 215 meters of continuous spodumene-bearing pegmatite, and that came in assaying at 1.69%. And then just this past week, we issued a news release for what is our biggest hole to date, and that was hole 21, which hit 347 meters at 1.35% Li2O, which I think is quite a large hit and one of the largest in the James Bay area, if not North America. We still have assays pending on 3 holes, so hole 20, 22, and 23, which were drilled pretty much at the end of the season. So we expect those back in probably the next 3 to 4 weeks. Here are 2 cross sections, which I don't know if you can actually see that, but it just highlights that one hole, hole 21, with the 347 meters of pegmatite and all the different sort of percentages that were within that hole. And this cross section B also highlights the other holes that we have hit considerable spodumene pegmatite. Our plans for the next winter program, we'll get back out there in January, and the plan is to continue stepping out and touching on the CO14 outcrop and the CO6 outcrop that you can see up at the top there. This is a schematic that the geologists came up with as they were logging the core, as a visual interpretation of how the pegmatite was looking. So the red is the spodumene pegmatite, whereas the green and other colors are just wall rock or ultramafics. The first 6 holes on the schematic are from the vendors, to which you can see hole number 5 there ended in mineralization, and hole number 6 had quite a few intervals of spodumene pegmatite. You can also see our evolution as we were understanding which way the system was trending, and you can see there in hole 18, the 215 meters at 1.69% Li2. And what's also to note is you can see the percentages down at the bottom there. Like hole 18 was 72% mineralized, the entire hole. And hole number 21 there, 347 meters at 1.35. 66% of that hole was mineralized with spodumene-bearing pegmatite. This is a fun picture that the geologist took as the core was coming in from the drills. That just highlights the length of hole number 21 and how much there was actually coming in off the helicopters every day. The geologists were quite excited, didn't want to leave camp because they didn't want to miss out on the next batch of holes coming in. And then there's a picture highlighting just sort of the area. It's a forestry-based area. To the north of us, it's quite wide open, and then to the south, it's treed. These are our upcoming catalysts for 2025. So currently, we are waiting on assays, as I mentioned. We do have warrants that are in the money that are slowly but surely coming in, and then we'll get back out there in January. We're in the process of permitting a winter access trail. We'll be able to drive in right off the highway. The actual Cisco outcrop is about 10 kilometers in from the Billy Diamond Highway, which is a very well paved highway. It's a 2-lane highway. It's very well maintained by the local Cree. Once we get that in, we plan on bringing in 2 drills and starting our program and drilling 6,000 to 8,000 meters between January and April. And then there's a goose hunting season where we'll have to stand down for about a month and a half. And then the plans are to get back out there in the summer and keep drilling. And things are looking really good. So thank you for coming.